This is Josh Reed, infielder pitcher for the Westminster Titans, and it's time for Titan Town Sports.
Grab your popcorn because it's time for episode 8 of Titan Town Sports. I'm Tom Rook, joined by Braylon Juzak. Braylon, how are you?
I'm absolutely amazing, Tom. I'm excited to talk about some Westminster sports, some high school sports. We got an action-packed episode for you guys today.
Yeah, leading it off the lineup today, Prime Cuts, RJ Scott and Peyton Mel.
Welcome back to another edition of Prime Cuts. I am RJ Scott, and let's get right back into it with football. The Titans arrived in Washington, Pennsylvania with momentum. Standing across the field was the Washington and Jefferson Presidents, though, in a juggernaut conference play matchup. We had our very own Mark Slezak and Ben Kelly on the call, so let's tune in, shall we?
Yeah. Two receivers right, wing right, and Stahl with another quick throw and a slant over the middle, and it's intercepted! Devin Mila steps in front of the intended receiver, Jacob McCosco, at about the 15-yard line, and Mila with a takeaway. His right on 1st and 10, and a handoff up the middle. It's Cannon Jr. with a hold to the 20, to the 25, and a first down run for Clayton Cannon Jr. and Westminster. Westminster at the 26-yard line. Here's a handoff, Cannon Jr. up the middle to the 30, and he pushes ahead to near the 34. Another run right up the middle, and they'll bring up 2nd down and short. Two receivers right. And Stahl with the keeper, and he rolls right, and he fires into the flat. It's caught, but only a gain of a yard is making the tackle on the receiver, Luke Edwards. Right away, it was Fletcher, and will take the snap. And he swings it out left side, and White makes a catch. White with a cut back to the 45, and dives forward to about the 47, but motion to the right. Stahl back to pass, looking, and he's hit and sacked. The ball may have come out. It looked like Stahl back on top of it, and he is. But Westminster with a big sack to knock him down. Gene-Gary Joseph looked like he was in the middle of that. Hebron's at 2nd down and 10 from the 16-yard line. Here's Stahl, back to pass, rolls right. He's hit, he's grabbed, he's down! Gene-Gary had the mitts on him, and then the Titans finish him off back near the 30-yard line for the big sack. It's Bright Cannon and Beachy. On 2nd down, low snap, McGowan looks far side, pass is caught. Coble, the tight end, is going to run it for a first down on the far side.
That's Nate
Wadsworth making his first catch. Wadsworth and 3 from the Titans' 13-yard line. 3 receivers to the right, snap to good, back to pass, looks, fires over the middle, and I think it's caught. A sliding catch. I think he made it. Under the ball is Coble. He had 2 receivers in the same place.
Dropped the lil, just
1st and 10. Fake handoff, good back to pass, fires left side, that pass is caught! It's Grayson with a leaping grab at about the 40-yard line. Well, there was good coverage over there.
whole lot of dirty laundry.
Right, Coville in motion to the left side. 1st and 10, fake handoff, good back to pass, fires deep over the middle, caught! And the catch inside the 20-yard line. That's Beachy breaking a tackle. He's in the 15, and it'll be into the red zone for the Titans. Hard line. Titans trail 17-0, snap to good. Good, looks, fires, end zone, caught, touchdown! Christian Bailey into the end zone for
the
a
Titans would
14-yard
fall
score.
to the Washington and Jefferson Presidents 24-7 on their homecoming day in Cameron Stadium. With that being said, it's homecoming weekend in New Wilmington, a time when alumni return, the campus comes alive, and Titan pride fills the air. This Saturday, the Westminster Titans will welcome the Teal Tomcats to Memorial Field at Bury Stadium for their annual homecoming game. We'll be carrying streaming live on WCNlive.com, as well as Titan Radio will be doing a broadcast as well on 88.9 and online and on the free Titan Radio app. Make sure you download that. My name is RJ Scott, and this is another edition of Prime Cuts. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.
Heartbreaker for the Titans on Saturday, joined by head coach Scott Benzel. Coach, welcome back to Titan Town Sports. You said following the loss on Saturday, there was some complimentary football that maybe wasn't being played, but what really needed to be addressed in practice throughout the week?
Yeah, rough start to practice this week. I don't think we had the mindset that's required. Particularly, like I said, Saturday, I didn't feel like we went into that football game with the right mindset. You know, when you're playing high-leverage football games against good teams, first and foremost, you can't beat yourself. That's an obvious thing. But the second thing is things aren't going to always go our way. And I thought we handled it really well in our 2 road wins. Didn't think we handled it very well last week, and just disappointing. So it was addressed. We've talked about it. I think we're over it in that sense, and we've got to move on because, nobody feels sorry for us. We got to go get the next 5.
You like to say that every week is a season. In those seasons come growth. What growth have you seen from this team, and what can we expect in games to come?
We'll find out. Practice-wise, like I said, it was a rough beginning of practice. I think they've rebounded with a couple better practices in terms of their effort and their focus. The message is really simple. Being great's a choice. It's not just a once-in-a-while thing, however. You're going to have to give up some things and sacrifice some things. And my thought process is, this team is very, very capable of being one of the better teams we've had. It's just a matter of going out and taking it, and we have to get that done.
You said after the game it hurts not having 12 out there, 12 of course being sophomore quarterback Sean O'Shea. You hope to get him back soon. How's he feeling, Sean?
Yeah, he's not going to be available this week. We're hoping that he can get himself ready to go.
Long pass,
Sean's
sideline.
biggest asset, as you know, is his playmaking ability, and that drives from his feet. And with the knee, that's been limiting his ability to do the things that he needs to do. So why it hurt us not having him Saturday is that's just another element that we didn't have available against a good W&J defense, and having Sean out there, I believe, would have certainly helped us put some more points on the board.
It's funny, ahead of the first 2 away games, I go, well, you got 2 really good quarterbacks in Sean and Ty, and you go, that's not a problem. We have 2 good quarterbacks. The problem is when the 2 quarterbacks aren't good. But now you get Quentin Good into the mix. He's starting to look like a pretty good quarterback as well. You said he's still learning how to be a college quarterback. How is that education coming along for your 2 good quarterbacks?
Yeah, our challenge is really just trying to keep quarterbacks healthy. That we've got some good ones. I feel really comfortable with the guys we have in there. Just haven't been healthy. But in terms of Quentin's development, he's a kid that just has some natural ability. His arm talent, as I've mentioned to you before, it's really it's special. But the maturation of how do I lead? How do I take care of the little things, not only on the field, off the field? How do I prepare myself? You have to be an extension of the coaching staff, and that means there's a lot required of you. And the reality of it is we're going to get a lot of criticism when things don't go our way as a head coach, as a quarterback, and you're going to have to be equipped to deal with it. It's not fun, but it's part of the job, and that's the part that we need to see Q develop into that.
Teal coming up this week, the homecoming game. How do you stay sharp against a homecoming opponent?
Coming off on a pretty resounding and embarrassing loss, that certainly should get guys focused to go out and perform.
That
get
drops
that bad
back,
taste out of your mouth.
looks to the near side on the screen, pass it goes, makes a beautiful.
People there for a couple reasons. One, they love Westminster, and then 2, they might this might be the first time they've ever seen us play, and to me that's a great opportunity to put a great impression on those that have never seen us compete, whether that's somebody that came back, had graduated some years back. To me, I think that's a cool thing about homecoming, and it's a special opportunity. And it was actually the first time I got my first career win was homecoming against Teal some years back, so I always get super excited for it.
You look for your 81st career win now at Westminster. What are the 3 keys to doing that on Saturday?
3 keys. Okay, we got to get our quarterback off to a good start. Again, with a young guy that's first time in that starting role, it's not a backup situation where you're coming in. There's some expectations, so we got to get him rolling. The second one is we have to get after their quarterback. That young man went for 460. I think he broke every record in single game. So we got to make his life miserable, or at least uncomfortable. And the third one, our line of scrimmages, offense and defensively, we've got to dominate. I believe we're better on our offense and defensive lines. We got to play that way and prove that.
Coach, thank you very much for your time. Good luck Saturday against Teal Westminster and Teal coming up. But first, let's go see how the other PAC schools fared in our PAC recap of the week.
Welcome back to the PAC Weekly Recap. I'm Ben Kelly. Let's get right into it. At Cleveland, Ohio, as the Case Western Spartans take on the Allegheny Gators. We just saw Stephon Lopez score his first touchdown of the game, but that would not be his last. He breaks the plan another 3 times, finishing with 4 scores on the day. Not to worry for the Gators, though. They're going to fight back. still a bit of chomp left in him. Here we're going to see Nick Barker airing it out to Devin Larry from his own side of the 50. He would keep going later on in this game and connect with Will Griffin. A whole lot of fight left in these Gators, but it would be too little, too late. Case Western defends DeSanto Field and runs away with it. 62-21, the final. Heading over now to the late night showdown between St. Vincent and Bethany. Chris Downs gets the scoring started for the Bearcats over on the far side, and a little bit of deja vu. Jake Phillips looks for Downs once again, and he's going to climb the ladder right here on that far pylon. It was all St. Vincent in this one. Phillips looking down his main man once again. Downs for the 44-yard score. But still some good news for Bethany fans. The return of star quarterback Brett Phillips. He came back from injury in this one. He threw for nearly 400 yards and ran for over 100 as well. Bethany definitely happy to get their quarterback back in the saddle, but the Bearcats take this one 57-35. Over into Geneva and Teal. The Tomcats try a swing pass and disaster strikes. That's going to be a fumble. Return for a house call by Geneva's Noah Hutcherson. Geneva sprinted to a 24-0 lead before long. And this week's newcomer of the week, Keller Herzberger, would deliver a beautiful pass over the shoulder to Riley Dunbar to get Teal's first points on the board. PAC Offensive Player of the Week, Caleb Romano, says, anything you can do, I can do better. Rolling to his right and connecting with Keaton Baker, making a man miss, breaking tackles into the end zone. Some backyard football. Romano takes a broken play himself on the quarterback keeper up middle for another score. One more long score for Romano to Krumbacher, and that's all she wrote. The GT's best, the Tomcats in this one. 51-38, your final. Now to the weirdest game of the week. 3 of 5 total touchdowns in Grove City and Waynesburg came on the defensive side. The first one right here. Dominic Danino breaks on the curl route and returns it 48 yards for the game's first touchdown. The Yellow Jackets looking to tie the game up. Watch the far side. Star linebacker Jack Jolly blocks the kick. That allows Noah Wheeler to scoop it up and take it all the way back 80 yards to take the momentum back to the Wolverines. Grove City would put the nail in the coffin with Ellis finding Daniel Sullivan. Grove City takes this one 24-14.
Definitely an action-packed and a point-packed week around the PAC this week, Tom.
Yeah, a lot of points scored. Geneva beating Teal 51-38. Quite a performance out of Caleb Romano. 402 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns, leading all Division III in passing yards as well. So an incredible performance out of him and out of that Geneva offense, really.
Yeah, but I heard he was also the PAC Newcomer of the Week and Offensive Player of the Week as well.
Yeah, a lot of points,
Yeah, definitely a lot of good stuff going on around in Teal for that situation. Let's head back to Westminster and do it, Sleva.
The William B. Campbell Trophy, often called the Academic Heisman, stands as one of college football's most prestigious honors. Each year, it's awarded by the National Football Foundation to a player who excels on the field, in the classroom, and as a leader within the community. The award began in 1990 as the Vincent DePaul Dratty Trophy and was renamed in 2009 to honor William B. Campbell, a former Columbia University football player, coach, and later a mentor of some of Silicon Valley's greatest innovators. This year, Dylan Sleva, a senior linebacker for the Westminster Titans, was named a semi-finalist for the Campbell Trophy, a recognition that celebrates not just talent but balance, character, and leadership. In recent years, players like Carter Chin and Matthew Howard have also been nominated for this honor. We asked Dylan what it meant to be recognized among such elite company, student athletes who represent the best of college football.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great honor, especially with the leaders that Matt Howard and Carter Chin were. You know, those were great guys on the football field and great guys in the classroom, so it means a lot to be nominated for that award.
Being a student athlete at Westminster means early mornings, long practices, and late night studying. Yet through it all, Sleva continues to excel, both in the classroom and on the field.
I would definitely say it starts in the classroom. You know, I try to keep the grades up in class and also on the football field too. That's what they look for, so just kind of being the best guy I can be in the classroom and on the football field. Yeah, you gotta have a good balance, you know, you gotta have a good, when you're in class, you gotta be in class. When you're at football, you gotta be in football. When you're outside of both, you know, you gotta have a life too, so it's good to have a good mix of everything.
We proceeded to talk about the people who kept him going and motivated, and I'm sure you'll love this response from the senior linebacker.
Yeah, I'd definitely say my mom and dad, my teammates, coaches, everybody that's been here with us, supporting us along the way. It's all meant a lot.
And here's what Dylan Sleva had to say to all the listeners out there who are watching this and what they could do to potentially be like him and be on his path.
Yeah, just trust the process, and it might not be pretty the first time around, but if you keep working at it, it'll certainly work out.
In his senior campaign, he's been a dominant force, and he's opened up the 2025 season with a career-high 25 tackles against Marietta, followed by 13 tackles, half a tackle for loss, and an interception versus Franklin and Marshall. And by mid-September, he led all of Division III in total tackles with 38. He continued a strong play with 9 tackles against W&J on October 11th. For Dylan Sleva, this nomination is about more than football. It's about legacy, a legacy built on hard work, leadership, and representing Westminster College with pride on and off the field.
Celebrating its 36th year, William V. Campbell recognizes an individual as the best football scholar athlete in the nation. Dylan Sleva up for that award. He's currently 7th in all of NCAA D3 in total tackles, having an incredible season for the Titans.
Yeah, absolutely incredible, Tom. And unheard of numbers from Dylan Sleva this year. But Ethan Kurtz took to the film room with 2 sports star from the diamond to the court. Morgan O'Brien in film room.
I'm Ethan Kurtz here with sophomore setter Morgan O'Brien. We're going to be taking a look at a bunch of Morgan's highlights and have her break them down.
Let's get into it. This is the film room with Morgan O'Brien.
In the game against Chatham, this is in the first set. Just like a little loft over the top of them to the outside.
Okay. Yeah, we're always talking about expanding our toolbox, finding those open spots, and we watch a lot of film, so we see what's opening. And I knew at that time that I had that tip to the short 2, and I just kind of tried to throw it over with my left hand to catch them off guard, and hopefully it drops.
This was a tight game. Kind of take me through not only the play, but then this game as a whole being so close.
Definitely when it's close like this, I mean, I want the ball. I want to be able to help my team get that point, put us ahead, tie us up, whatever it may be. And again, off the block, trying to work those hands just to tool them off, because then it doesn't give them a chance to get that ball up and make the play. So it's definitely exciting when I'm able to get that kill and help our team tie it up. But again, it's nothing that I would be able to do if it weren't for the ball that the setters put up or the passers give the setters.
Definitely. This one at the end of the third set to get the 25th point and win this set. Up in the air, I'm pretty sure, yeah, it does drop. So you get an assist on this one, gets you guys the third set and kind of back into it. Same thing, take me through this play.
It was such an exciting moment just for us because we came back, we battled that whole set, the first 2 sets, and just to force them to a 4th set and then eventually a 5th set. And I feel like this kind of changed the momentum because they dropped in their energy a little bit and we knew that we could battle this out.
Okay, this one in the final set against Chatham.
I definitely, when I'm right front or even if I'm in right back, I try to always push the ball across the court, whether I'm off to the right or off to the left, just to reverse the flow, make their blockers have to move, have to run, make their defense have to adjust.
You know, one thing that I've noticed from watching a lot of these clips, Morgan, you kind of do everything, right? Sometimes you're on the outside swinging, other times setting up your teammates. Kind of take me through that as like a, for lack of a better word, do-it-all player on the court.
I feel like it just, I try to focus on whatever my role is at the time, whether it be setting and playing defense or swinging and blocking. And obviously, like, you can't get the kills without Angie or AK setting me. And it just goes back to the passers also setting the setters up. It's kind of a whole team effort, and you know, we're just all focusing on trying to put that ball in play to keep the momentum for our team going, keep the rally going, and I'm just trying to work around the block so we can hopefully get another play, get another point off of it.
The star Titan 2-sport athlete Morgan O'Brien in the now popular film room with Ethan Kurtz. Morgan O'Brien tied on the Titan volleyball team in kills in first, at least, with 154 kills on the season. Also tied for first on the team in points and service points, Braylon.
Yeah, Tom, absolutely unreal from Morgan O'Brien this year. And last week, the Titan volleyball team defeated Grove City in the Dig Pink breast cancer awareness game, where head coach Tammy Swearingen also picked up her 700th career win.
And with that, Coach Tammy Swearingen is going to win career game 700.
Titan Volleyball got to celebrate an incredible milestone this past week. Coach Tammy Swearingen just hit a career 700th win as a Westminster volleyball coach. Coach Swearingen stated that it's about the girls that have gone through this program that got her to 700. And since it's also Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we're taking a moment to shine a light on something even bigger than sports. 2 of our Titan volleyball players are sharing powerful personal stories about their loved ones who have fought breast cancer.
In 2021, when she was diagnosed with breast cancer, it was a complete shock for our family. I remember she pulled me and my brother aside outside and told us, and all we wanted to do was surround her with the love and her not to feel stressed out about it. It was my first time in my family that I've experienced that in my lifetime, so it was really different and it was really new. My aunt was diagnosed with leukemia like a year ago, but she fought it off. So the most difficult part was probably my mom going through the treatment, how it drained her like physically and emotionally. But my family, we did such a great job at trying to just help her out and do anything we could for her and have her know that we were all by her side. And then the community around us, we were all so busy with sports like my siblings. So people made dinners for us to help our family out and not feel as stressed. At Westminster College, I think we can do like pink out games or walks and then donate the money to breast cancer foundations, or even just wearing pink throughout the month, or just having educational resources that kind of inform people about like going to get checked out or just knowing more about breast cancer.
Next, I got to talk with Lexi Markin, who's also been personally impacted by breast cancer in her family.
3 of my family members have had breast cancer. I've seen it with 2 of my grandmothers and my aunt. Only one of them has survived because of it. Breast cancer has really impacted my family just because of how difficult the disease is to take on. My Guy, she had it, she recovered, but she ended up passing from an aneurysm in her brain. And my other grandmother, I had to watch it take her life very slowly in 2020. My Aunt Holly, she's still alive, and she has a daughter that also goes to Westminster. She plays lacrosse, and she is one of our biggest supporters. This experience has changed my life dealing with breast cancer because I am a nursing student, and it has made me realize that oncology is probably going to be one of my top options. If my loved ones that have passed could hear this interview right now, I would just want to tell them how strong they were and how difficult it was for all of us to watch them go through it. I think our Titan community could share support for breast cancer awareness by doing stuff like pink out games and really raising money and supporting the cause of breast cancer by donating, especially just by wearing pink or maybe doing a bake sale. I know our team did that. We did 50-50 raffles just so we could donate to the breast cancer awareness cause.
A huge congratulations to head coach Tammy Swearingen for her 700th career victory and just an amazing cause in breast cancer awareness for that Dig Pink game, Tom.
Definitely, Braylon. Now we're going to start something new. It's the Titan Town Sports Athlete of the Week, something that we've been wanting to do for a long time. Now we're going to jump into it. Sophomore Ava Liberty is your Titan Town Sports Athlete of the Week. Ava Liberty of the women's golf team was awarded fall medalist as she sits atop of the leaderboard following the first 2 rounds of the PAC Championship. She leads the charge as the women look to win an 8th straight PAC championship in the spring. Liberty attributed her mental toughness to her strong play, something she also credited to her tying the program record just weeks ago.
Ava Liberty was just one of many Titans having a good weekend in the PAC championships as the women carry a 15-shot lead heading into the spring, shooting a 668 over 2 days. The Titans men's golf will look to make up some ground as they have fallen behind into 6th place in the PAC with a 2-day score of 626.
Yeah, the men will have some ground to break up, but otherwise both good performances out of either team.
Yeah, I mean, looking for the 8th straight PAC championship is just absolutely crazy, Tom. Good stuff there from Ava Liberty and the women's golf team.
Yeah, now we're going to head to the coveted high school of the week. It's Laurel High School this week.
Hey Titan Town sports fans, I'm Tom Rook, and it's time for another edition of High School of the Week. This week we're heading to Newcastle, Pennsylvania, and highlighting the Laurel High School Spartans. In October of 1954, the Hickory and Scott Township school districts in Lawrence County, PA began serious discussions of forming a new jointure. Before long, Slippery Rock Township decided to join the new Hickory-Scott merger as well. Then in July of 1955, the Laurel School District was formally approved. The district began classes in the fall of 1955 at the initial home of the newly established Laurel High School in Eastbrook, PA. Then, only a year later, in December of 1956, discussions for the building of a new high school were given state approval, and on June 4th of 1957, construction of the new modern Laurel High School began. The new high school was built on the site of the first Newcastle Airport as well, which was relocated to Union Township in 1928. Finally, Laurel High School was officially dedicated by a ceremony on the evening of Saturday, May 16th in 1959. With an enrollment of 317 students, Laurel High School is deemed as a community dedicated to excellence, committed to challenging and equipping students to become knowledgeable, responsible, and engaged contributors to an ever-changing global society.
All right, so what it means to be a Spartan is to be kind, be respectful, be strong in your values and your morals, and to be a good person.
Looking at Laurel athletics, the 2025 Spartan football team has had quite the season, especially when it comes to breaking records. Competing in the Western Pennsylvania Interscholastic Athletic League, Class A of the Big Seven Conference, the Spartans are 7-1 overall and 4-0 in league play. On September 19th, in a game against Rochester, senior Jack Miles broke an 11-year record of 284 tackles. Next, on October 3rd, in a game against Summit Academy, senior Colton Carlson needed 92 receiving yards to break the Laurel career receiving yards record. Carlson got 94 yards and broke the previous 1,361-yard record. Lastly, in the same game against Summit Academy, senior quarterback Luca Santini needed 83 yards to break the Laurel career passing yards record of 3,110 yards. Santini ended up throwing for 142 yards in that game and breaking the Laurel career passing yards record. Laurel has managed to win one WPIAL championship, and it came in 1980. If the Spartans can continue the magic of their 2025 season, that championship total just might change. After each and every Laurel football game, no matter won or lost, the entire football team lines up single file as the band plays the alma mater. The players sway back and forth and sing along with the crowd. Thanks for watching this week's edition of High School of the Week. A huge thank you to Abby Richards and Jacob Walzer for their help with this segment. For Titantown Sports, I'm Tom Rook.
I've had a lot of fun doing these High School of the Weeks. We've had Wilmington, we've had Newcastle, Laurel, we've had Sharon as well, so look to continue that the rest of Titantown Sports. Braylon, a huge thank you as well to Abby Richards and Jacob Walzer for their help with that segment.
Yeah, a bunch of really intriguing stuff going on around the local high school sports. But without further ado, we will now head over to Old Main for high school sports action with view from the tower.
Yeah, Mercer senior Emma Cameron is now the all-time leading goal scorer with 106 and counting for the girls soccer team. Cameron helped the Lady Mustangs claim their 5th consecutive regional championship this season.
With some boys soccer action, Shannock defeated Southside 8-0 to earn their first playoff appearance since 2011. Zayden Herb's 5 goals led the way for the Lancers.
Lakeview boys cross country had a perfect 6-0 season and were named the Region 1 champions. Stepping onto the court, Slippery Rock girls volleyball won the Region 3 championship Tuesday, marking their first title since 2014.
Just down the street, Wilmington defeated Jamestown in 5 sets to claim the Region 1 title. They were named co-champions alongside Lakeview and Rocky Grove.
Staying here in New Wilmington, the Hounds boys soccer team won the region championship over Mercer 4-1. Wilmington went undefeated in region play.
Yeah, Wednesday was a day full of news across the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Athletic Association. The second vote was unanimous to bringing a shot clock to high school basketball in Pennsylvania. Barring the unexpected, the shot clock will be introduced for the 2028-29 season.
PIAA Executive Director Dr. Robert Lombardi announced his retirement. Current Assistant Director Mark Byers will officially take the reins as the Executive Director on January 1st of 2026. Braylon, big news out of the PIAA, the shot clock coming in a couple years.
Yeah, I mean, Tom, I think this is just the right move overall. You can't have teams holding the ball, especially in those, high-stake playoff scenarios, especially when it goes further down the road into the season.
Yeah, it creates some excitement for sure. Now we're going to head over to our trivia, Braylon.
Yeah, I got the question right here, Tom. Which Titan team is honoring a former coach on their helmet this year? Is it A, softball and Jan Redinger, B, football and Joe Fusco, C, men's lacrosse and Anthony Accardi, or D, football and Harold Burry?
A tough one for Titantown trivia this week, but a little bit of an easy question as far as my knowledge goes, I think, because I've been on the field a couple times so far this season. I was able to see on the back of the helmets this year they have JBF for Joe Fusco, so that's what I'm going with. I'm going with B. See what the answer is. It is D right there. I'm not sure. Looks like we got a little miscommunication, but I believe it was Joe Fusco, Braylon?
It was indeed Joe Fusco. The correct answer was B. Joe Fusco is definitely a familiar face around the Memorial Fieldhouse, on the mural, and in multiple other spots. I had the chance to take a deeper dive into the legendary head football coach of the Titans.
My name is Braylon Juzak, and I'm here with the Mural Minute. This week we're talking about Joe Fusco, the legendary former head football coach for the Westminster Titans. Before Joe Fusco coached the Titans, he also played for them from 1957 to 1959. Fusco was an offensive guard under Coach Harold Burry. After college, Fusco coached high school ball at Wilmington Area High School and Grove City Area High School from about 1960 to 1967. His record there was great, going 55, 14, and 3. After Joe Fusco coached high school for a little bit, he then joined Westminster's coaching staff as an assistant around 1968 to 71. He was head coach of the Titans from 1972 to 1990 with an amazing overall record of 154, 34, and 3, and a winning percentage of about .814. As head coach, he won 4 NAIA Division II national championships, 1976, 1977, 1988, and 1989. Unfortunately, Joe Fusco passed away on February 22nd, 2025 at the age of 87. The Titan football team this year is now representing him on the back of their football helmets as a tribute to one of the best Westminster coaches in history.
A super successful career for Coach Fusco and the Titans are in that era where they won 4 national championships in the NAIA, Tom.
Yeah, now in the Division III of NCAA, we'll see if they can earn some national championships in that division.
Yeah, well, it all starts this Saturday against Teal for the homecoming game, 1 minute at a time for these Titans.
Yeah, an exciting game for sure. That's it. Titan Town Sports Episode 8. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week.
This is Isabella Cespedes, junior defender with the Westminster Titans, and that's a wrap on this week's Titan Town Sports. See you next